Hi there, and welcome to Get Your Groovy On. My name's Merlin Albushbire. I also blog under the handle of Curious Attempt Bunny, and I just love to use Groovy, and I want to share some of the reasons why with you. We're going to cover a few things very quickly, not a lot of detail. There'll be collections in Groovy, strings in Groovy, closures, extensions to the Java API, and tweaking the meta class yourself. So I'm going to do all of this inside the Groovy shell, and what that lets me do is execute little snippets of Groovy without having to go into an IDE and compile classes, etc. So the very first thing will be a list. Here's my list, and here comes the syntax sugar. Yay! So just to prove it's a proper list, I can call size on it, and it will say the size is 2. Great. I can also declare a map, and it can have two keys. A is the key mapping to 1, and B is the key mapping to 2. And to go ahead and just use that in a straight old Java way, I can get the value corresponding to the key A, and it will be 1. Nice, nice syntax sugar. The way they do strings in Groovy, or the things they let you do with strings in Groovy. So I can define a variable here, name is Bob, and I can build a string like so. And really that what comes after the dollar, and well, should be inside curly braces if it's a complicated expression, can be anything, doesn't have to be a string, and that's a very easy way to build a string in Groovy. Hey Bob. Alright, so nice. Here's some awesome stuff. You can define closures, which you can think of them coming from a Java background as being pretty much like anonymous classes, except much lighter syntax wise. So there's my little anonymous class that's going to return a value of hi, and I can go ahead and call that using very much method syntax, and there we go, hi. Wow, so that's super powerful. I'll give you an example of how you can use that in conjunction with some of just one method that's been added to the Java API. So collections in Groovy have an each method, and what that does, very much like a for-in syntax in Java, lets you iterate over each element in a collection, and it will call your closure with the item. So here we're being passed a number, and we are going to just print that out, in a very Java-like way. There we go. So what we have here is our list on the left-hand side. We're calling the each method, and we're passing it one parameter, which is a closure, and that closure itself takes a single parameter, which we've called number, and it will print it out. So what I'm expecting here is 1 to get printed, 2 to get printed, and then Groovy Shell will show us the result of the each function, which is returning the collection that you iterated over. Ta-da! Awesome! There are lots and lots of other really helpful methods that have been added to the Java API, and you can find them by googling for Groovy JDK. Go do that. So the last thing I want to show you is pretty sweet, pretty dangerous too. I mean, pretty powerful, so you can use it in the wrong way. But just to give you a little example, a little taste, if I'm going to say, what's 5 squared? Whoa, that's just not going to work. There is no squared method on a number. But if I do this first, if I say number.metaclass.squared equals return delegate times delegate, don't worry about this syntax, and then I call it, that's going to work for me. It's going to return 25, and that's everything I had for you in almost 5 minutes. So enjoy.